Did John Carpenter tell Rob Zombie to go fuck himself during the remake of Halloween? No, that never happened. That's an exaggeration of the story already. But nevertheless, John Carpenter and Rob Zombie did have beef. Turn on the nightlight, it's about to get spooky as we hang out with our horror geek friends in this episode of Geeks with Beef. Horrible title. Sorry, I can't do anything about it. Now some of you might be thinking, hey, Rob Zombie's not a geek, he's a rock star. Consider, if you will, just for a second, how geeky Rob Zombie really is. One, he got his start working on Pee-wee's Playhouse as a claymation animator. He talks like he's from New York, but he dresses like he's from Texas. He knows way too much about classic horror, and he's always trying to sell us naked pictures of his wife. Last one funny, because it's true. So what's the story? Rob Zombie was approached by famous Hollywood rapists, the Weinstein brothers, to direct what would be Halloween 9. But he didn't want to do that, so he pitched instead that he would direct a remake of Halloween. Now, if you've ever heard Rob Zombie talk, he is a huge horror geek. And being a horror geek, he thought, well, if I'm going to remake Halloween, I should probably call John Carpenter and get his blessing. And after it first happened, Rob Zombie said this.
And, his basic response was, great, go for it. My only advice to you is just make it your own movie. Don't worry about my movie. And that's basically what I did.
But then later in interviews, Rob Zombie said actually John Carpenter was very cold to him and short. And John Carpenter replied by saying this.
And he lied about me. He said I was very cold to him when he told me I was going to, and that he was going to make it. Nothing could be further from the truth. I said, make it your own movie, man. This is yours now. Don't worry about me. I was incredibly supportive. Why that piece of shit lied, I don't know.
And I actually have a theory. I believe they are both correct. I think John Carpenter thought he was being nice, and Rob Zombie rightfully felt he was being cold to him. So how would I be able to guess that? Well, I'm a huge John Carpenter fan. I've been watching interviews with John Carpenter my whole life. This John Carpenter?
What about your contemporaries? Lucas, Spielberg, De Palma.
I don't care for them.
Or is it this John Carpenter?
It was a rough go.
It's a terrific movie.
It's okay.
Or this John Carpenter?
Is that when somebody wants to remake one of my films, what I do is I extend my hand like this, and they put a check right in my hand.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, this guy is the original curmudgeon. He is an angry old man. He was an angry old man when he was 28 making Halloween. Look, if we ever meet our heroes, we gotta keep in mind our heroes are still people. So that's my thought. I think they were actually both right. But what do you think? And now you know a little more about Geeks with Beef. Terrible title. So lazy. That's a horrible title. And keep watching good art.